Hey, good morning. Excuse me. Yikes. So I'm getting ready on Facebook. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, Periscope. Good morning. It is Monday morning. So again, I am Nikki from Convo with Nikki. So yes, I'm going to kind of like wait. Good morning, Ma. I miss you. We need to talk. Anyways, so I'm excited about my Monday morning. I hope that everyone is excited as well. So today is Monday. I hope everyone had a great weekend. I know everyone watched football yesterday because I watched Dallas Cowboys, and we are now 9-1. Woo! Go Cowboys! So that was one of the things I did this weekend. Good morning, Leslie. So I am excited. Good morning, Sonata. So we are preparing for our convo with Nikki. As you know now, I am simultaneously on 2 different networks. I am on Periscope and I am also on Facebook Live. So please make sure and let me know that you can hear me clearly, as I want to make sure these are successful and that everyone is getting the same level of great communication. Good morning, T. So I'm excited about what's going on. I'm excited about moving forward in this part of my, as Maisha would like to call, my branding, Convo with Nikki, and hopefully making it to be a successful platform for me to move forward in motivational speaking and all things. Good morning, Mr. Eason. So I am excited about that. I pray that everyone had an awesome and great weekend. So one of the things that I'm going to ask that everyone do, I'm learning this because I watch other people who do the same thing that I'm trying to do and be good at. Good morning, Coach. So what I am asking is that if you look at the bottom of your screen, it says share. So if you just click that button, just that simple, for Facebook, it says share. Just click it and it'll automatically share the video on your page, and so other people are able to view and see. And then for Periscope, there are 3 dots at the bottom of your screen. And if you click them, you should hit share and it'll be able to share that you're on with me, and other people can join in. So because ultimately this is for me to move on and be great. You know what I mean? Like, I will continue to do the videos. I've seen people who've had millions of followers. Whoa, Periscope. So I want to make sure that we're doing things great across the board. So today, I kind of battle. You know, I get a lot of suggestions about what we should talk about. I had a really good suggestion. The catch is I don't know if I want to talk about it at 8:45 in the morning. So I'm probably going to use that as one of my afternoon talks, or we're going to use it as an evening talk. It's a great question, and I'm super excited about doing it. I just don't know about Monday morning. You all know how I feel about motivating and empowering people on Mondays. I think that's a big deal. So I got a quote last night. It was from this like Sprinkle of Jesus app or something. And I'm going to read the quote to you. And it's posted on my page, but it was kind of like really big, and I feel like we need to talk about that because a lot of times in life we kind of get caught up in portraying or being what people expect of us, and we kind of lose who we are. But the quote simply says, "Don't be afraid of losing people. Be afraid of losing yourself trying not to lose someone." Super profound to me, especially where I am in my life and the things that I do, and me trying to grow and expand and do better and do bigger things. And then also in me, as a lot of you all know, that in dating and trying to move forward in that and see where this goes, and you end up becoming something that you had no idea that you were. You hear people's expectations or you hear people's thoughts, and you kind of start to maneuver and transform. And I am learning that if you are not comfortable in who you are and where you are, you will miss the mark for anybody. And ultimately, the goal is not for you to care or think about being what they need, but ultimately understanding what you need for you and be that. And be great at that. And if that is not enough, who cares? That's a hard place to be. It sounds so easy, especially for like our empowered women or guys who are self-confident and self-assured about who and what they are, right? So like Miss Sonia, I don't really got you in the mirror saying, I care about what they think. Because there was a process for you probably at one time where you decided, I don't care. I'm going to be this and they will be satisfied with who I am. And a lot of people are not there. A lot of people do and act on things predicated upon gaining friendships, losing friendships, gaining relationships, losing relationships. And we forget and have misdefined who we are. And I will no longer be that. Right? So either you take me for this, all my flaws, all my stuff, all my greatness, all my worth, and then you keep going, or you say, I can't really handle this. Let me move forward. The bigger thing is once you identify who you are, know what you will accept and know what you will do, and then move forward in that. And that's the hard thing, is that we don't, because we're so caught in the thought process of, I need someone, or I want people around, or I don't want to be alone, we get sidetracked. So we kind of lose our purpose and our vision because we have decided that I will conform or confine or make them comfortable. And those that know me know I spend a lot of my life. I just had a long conversation with like 3 really good friends over this weekend, probably I think starting Friday, about me and my decisions and where I'm going and how I move forward. Because I don't have an on and off switch about caring for people or taking care of people or meeting the needs of people or when people call, being there for them, right? But when it's time for me, I don't genuinely make that same amount of time or same amount of effort. So I end up missing the mark for Nicole on the point of satisfying somebody else's needs. I will no longer do that. Because I'm missing defining me, right? I'm missing understanding who I am. I'm missing all of those things. And then I'm left, they leave or they're not a part of your life anymore. And then you're stuck with all of these characteristics that actually had nothing to do with you. And then you're like, how I get here? And then you go back to redefining who you are. So those that know me know that I'm big about the things that Nicole loves and wants to do. But I just learned that, right? I wasn't really comfortable with having time that was just catered towards me. Good morning, Maurice. I thought about everybody else first. And so in my life, I kind of shifted and became some things. So I was defined by titles. So mom, daughter, sister, cousin, praise dancer, and those titles defined who I was. And so I lost me somewhere because before I was a mom, I was Nicole, right? Before I was a wife, I was Nicole. Before I was any of those things, I was Nicole. And so if I did not define who Nicole was, I could not effectively be all the other things to everybody else. So who are you? So the question is, what defines you? And has it been defined by you yourself, or has it been defined by those that are around you or you believe are close to you? Because if it's defined by others, when they leave your life or when they're no longer a part of your life, including your children, you will be stuck at a place of not understanding your worth. So if my worth was defined only by my children or only by a husband or only by a partner or only by a job, those things leave. Those things, I love my children, but one day they won't be there, right? I love people, but I love my sisters, but all the time they won't be here. So if I don't define me by me, not by the standards of even ministry for that matter, and I know that's going to sound crazy to some people because we get caught up in the stuff of church and we get caught up in that particular lifestyle, and then when you get church hurt or people in ministry hurt you, you leave and you run and you I can't do this. This is not what I need. This is not for me. But if you were genuinely in it because it defined and was a part of your heart and it was a part of who you were, it doesn't matter what happens around you because you're defined and you have a principle to stand on. And so the hard part is that we don't really know where we stand. Because in every place that we go, we have changed and put on a mask. Whether you came into work, you change your mask and you kind of look this way, right? Or you get to school and you change your mask and you look another way. Good morning, Dakisha. Or you get to these different places and you're kind of like, so now what? So you lose your job and you lose that mask and now you show hurt and you show pain or you want to cry and you want to do these things and there is no opportunity for you to do that because you have not defined or understood who you are, what you deserve, what your standards are, or what life is like. So the first thing is stop being afraid. Don't fear the thing of loneliness. And I think that's the first thing. And I'm talking to you. Everybody knows that I'm usually talking to me, right? So I'm saying to me that it's okay to be alone. Nicole, what do you mean? That thing is scary. And, I have 4 children. I have a bunch of kids around me. I have a bunch of sisters. But intimately, to have a moment where it may not be you and someone else, that is okay. So define yourself by your own standard. Understand your worth. Understand what you want and deserve. You all know my thing is vision, plan, work. Right? And so even when it comes to relationships, you may have this standard list. So I had this list, didn't really know what I was doing. I just created a list because I heard that's what you're supposed to do. So I wrote a list, and you see some things that kind of look like it caters to your list. And so you're like, oh, yep, this has got to be it. And then you get there and you realize that they have some stuff that you didn't have on your list, right? And so you kind of like go back. And what I had to realize is that you don't force that thing to work because it looked like the first thing. You go back to the plan, you look at the list, and you say, oh, I probably should add this because this is not something I want to deal with. And knowing that, and I think the biggest part is understanding the stuff that you need and want. Once you forget those things, or once you lose those things, or you have not identified those things, you settle and you'll take anything, right? So, yes, babe, being strong, right? Being alone makes you stronger. It does. It's not fun though. But in your lonely place, or when you're alone, not lonely place, but when you're alone, right? I think we have to change our wording when it comes to being alone. So it's not a lonely place, right? But in being alone, it means that you have time to focus and concentrate on you. Learn who you are, because if you're going to move to be with someone else, or you ultimately want a partner, if you don't know how to love you, you can't hold somebody else accountable to that type of relationship. You can't hold somebody else accountable to those things if you have no clue or no idea of what you want, need, and deserve. And so a lot of times we get so caught up in the expectations of another that, again, we miss who we are because we have not defined ourselves by ourselves. We've defined ourselves by what people say about us. We've defined ourselves about what people think about us. We've defined ourselves about what people assume of us. And we kind of like try to either talk over them, disregard what their thought process is, and create our own. Or we kind of like trying to prove that what they're saying is not true. So then we kind of take on a whole nother thing than just understanding who we are, being excited about those things, and moving forward in our life. It doesn't take a lot. It's kind of hard. Good morning, Sonata. I see you switched. And so the question is, who am I? Who am I to me? Not who am I to Malik, Nate, Nick, Michaela. Oh, that sounded like the challenge. Anyways, but not who I am to them, right? But who am I to me? I'm strong. I have flaws. I'm amazing. I'm awesome. I hurt. I cry. I get scared. I'm not going to tell you everything, but these are the moments of transparency that I had to have with me to be able to share them with you, right? Because I had to understand and define like the stuff that bothers me. Like I realized that I don't like being super strong or super independent, for lack of a better. I'm independent and I've been that way for a very long time. But I think at this point in my life, I'm okay with submitting to someone being able to take care of me. Does it make me weak? Not at all. No. Does it make me understand? I'm not losing who I am. I understand the things that I need because I've been so strong and independent for so long that I am at a moment of transparency where I'm saying, it'll be nice to have somebody say, I got you. And trust, right? That's a big word. Trust that they're going to do what they say. Because ultimately, I had lost a trust in me because of what I would say to me. Right? So I would hold myself and couldn't hold myself accountable to things that I would say. And then get frustrated when somebody else didn't do their part. So I've been consistent in the me of me. Right? I've been consistent in the thing of me. And I'm okay now. And so in moving forward, I can tell you what I need and what I want, and I understand that I don't have to settle and take what you offer just because that's all that you have. It doesn't mean that's all that I deserve. It's saying that that's all that you have to offer, and that's great for somebody. It may just not be great for me. And it's okay for me to decide this is not what I want. This is not the thing that I want to do. And then leave them where they are.
As women, we get so caught in trying to fix and make something happen. So we kind of just grab a hold of this thing. We take it along with us. We try to dress it up, paint it up, put it together, puzzle piece it together to make it look like the thing that we want, instead of understanding that in time, what we deserve and what we need will show up. Not for us to go looking for it. I'm not going to look for anybody. Right? I'm not. That doesn't mean you don't go out and have a good time, but not with the expectation that I'm going to find my husband there. Not with the expectation that I'm going to grab and hold anything there. But just the thought process that when he comes, I'm ready. And the question is, once you define who you are you ready for somebody else? Or do you have work to do? And if you have work to do, are you willing to do the work before they get there? Or are you going to subject them to doing the work with you? And even in the midst of them having to do work with you, it's okay to grow together. But if you all the way at the bottom, Lord, if you all the way at the bottom of the bottom, and they have consistently grown, do you drag them down to where you are, or do you work to get to where they are, and y'all work together to a common goal? But who are you? I can't define that for you. But it should be defined. And if you are in relationships, because I see that people are on here that are married, that I know are married. I see people that are on here that I know are in great relationships. What are you defined by? And then have an aha moment with yourself, because that's what happened with me. So I was already married, and I discovered Nicole. Kind of a weird thing, right? So I don't hold, Steve accountable to all of our stuff, because I shifted, because I understood that the things that I was doing had nothing to do with the things that I love to do. So I had misdefined myself, predicated upon what the world says marriage should look like, what the world says a mom should look like, and that's how I define me. But that's not me. I'm not defined by being a wife. I'm not defined by being a mom. Those are just part of my job. Those are the things of me later. Nicole stands even when everyone else will leave. And so if I can't love her, if I don't enjoy her, if I don't understand her, then I lose. They then will also lose, because they will lose the understanding of who their mom really is. I'm a server, I'm a giver, I'm submissive, I have a voice, right? That I'm used to being heard, and I'm learning that it's okay to not be. I talked to my sister the other day, and we understand, life is a highway. Everybody on, we all going somewhere, right? And for a long time, I was the sister that was in all lanes. So I was in the lane that was going really fast. I was in the lane with all the chaos, because I would intervene, right? So I was the first to the scene on the highway of crime. And I'm learning that the Nicole of me is up to date. I'm okay with being in the slow lane, and I'm watching you guys. Watching you guys and praying that you don't make a mistake. But I'm going slow enough that if you do, I can slowly merge over. Hopefully that you fix it out yourself, and I can just be there to support. I don't have to fix it all. I don't have to show up to it all. Somebody probably about to say, Lord, she got it. But that's hard for me. I don't have an on and off switch of love and compassion and caring. That is my makeup. That is who I am. However, it is hard, because when you take on so much, I heard yesterday, Nicole, I'm not jealous of the amount of sisters you have. Because I care about you, I worry about the sisters and their stuff. Because people know that when I say sister, if I call you my sister and you need me, I'm going to show up. 3, 4 in the morning, I'm going to show up. I'm going to answer my phone, right? So my sisters are concerned about me taking on more sisters, because I take on more problems. But no, I'm built tough, right? So I need you all to understand that I'm built tougher than you think. Why am I saying it? Because I'm learning that I'm tougher than I know. I'm built to last, right? And I have a firmer ground to stand on and forward. So that means I cost, and there's a price for me. And if you're not willing to pay the price, then move forward. If you're not willing to do the work for me, then move forward. And no, I'm okay with that, right? And once I see that they're not willing to do the work, I'm going to move on. Because the old Nicole would stay, try to fix and mend and preach and talk, and no, life is too short. One thing I learned from WAG, which if you don't know is my godson, is that tomorrow is not promised. tomorrow is no guarantee. So I live today in greatness and excitement, and whatever comes my way, I want to enjoy that. And if that means I lose a person in the process, I'm now okay with that because I want me more. And that's what we have to realize. We have to want us more than we want them. Because when we don't want ourselves more, we lose us to satisfy them, and then they leave, and you're defined by them, and you're left alone, undefined, unknowing. Well, I am redefined, renewed, revived, restored, and I move on. So my question to you is, who are you?